You cannot have a shadow smaller than the object casting it. Meaning, the moon can't be 2,100 miles wide if it only casts a 300-mile shadow. Prove me wrong without using a computer.
What you should do, I think, is this. If you have a flashlight, and let's say that you have a dime that is smaller than the diameter of that light, then when you turn the light on, what you'll find is that that's going to cast a shadow of the dime. And when you turn that upside down, you're going to find that the shadow that's going to be cast next to another dime is going to be smaller than the dime's shadow. You got to like tape it on there or glue it on there. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I got some Scotch tape, and I'm going to take this tape, and it's kind of hard to do, but I'm going to tape the dime, put this on the back of the dime here, and then I'm going to tape that onto the flashlight. Now be careful because, you know, flashlights get hot, and so the dime is going to be very, very hot when you're done, so be careful. So, let's look at this here. Okay, so do you see how the dime is like right there? Because you have to keep in mind that the moon is actually bigger than, or the sun is bigger than the moon. Even though they say the moon is 400 times smaller, but 400 times closer, it's not exactly 400. The moon is still slightly bigger. Or the sun is still slightly bigger. And so anyway, when this shadow gets cast, what you'll notice is that because the light source is bigger than the dime, then what ends up happening is that shadow that's being cast by that dime is actually smaller than the diameter of a dime. Now the thing is, though, is that when the moon is in perigee, meaning when the moon is closer at about 225,000 miles, it'll cast a full shadow. But when the moon is in perigee, it's further away, and that shadow gets smaller to where there is no total eclipse. So notice how when I pull away, that shadow it gets smaller and smaller. See that? So when the moon is in perigee, meaning when the moon is closer, it casts a shadow and you get a total eclipse. But when the moon is in apogee, when the moon is further away, that shadow gets so small to where there is no total eclipse. And so the reason why the shadow of the moon is only 300 miles, it's because of that. It's because the light source, meaning the sun, is actually a larger light source than the moon. Hope that explains it well. Now, be careful about taking that dime off of your flashlight, because once you get the dime off of there, it's hot. Very, very, very hot. That is hot. Hot stuff.